Okay, so for this problem, it says, what assumption can be made about the density of two cylinders with similar masses but very different volumes? So I want you to first notice that at the bottom, they give you the mass for both liquids, and they also already give you the volume for both liquids. So you don't need to find out any extra information other than the density. But it asks you what assumption can be made, and that's pretty much asking you to make a prediction. So you need to make a prediction. We see that the masses are close to being the same, but the volumes are very different. So what does this tell you about the density? What would you assume? Would you assume the densities would be the same, um, similar, are very different? Do you assume A maybe would have more density or B would have more density? So make your prediction, your assumption. But you gotta have to remember that to find the density, you're gonna take that mass and you're gonna divide it by the volume. So you would first make your assumption and then you can do the actual math. So to find out A, you would take the mass, which is 32 grams, and then you would divide that by the volume, which is 23 milliliters, and you're welcome to use your calculator for that. Once you find out what the density would equal for A, then you can go ahead and look for B. So B's density, you would have to take the mass and divide it by the volume so that you can get B's density. So the mass of B is 31 grams. The volume is 30 milliliters. So you can use your calculator and figure out what that density would be. Now you should have both densities. Compare the densities and explain what the densities were and if your assumption was correct or incorrect. Try to answer this using 3 sentences. Like I said, you're welcome to use the calculator. You have your mass, you have your volume, and just remember that density is mass divided by volume. Okay, but you're going to have to do the math on your own. I'm not going to show you the answer.